It's raining tacos from out of the sky. Tacos, no need to ask why.
Just open your mouth and close your eyes. It's raining tacos. Yay! Woo! We are back.
And the forecast says it's a full slate of tacos today.
A full what of tacos?
Slate of tacos.
Slate? Is that like a technical term or?
Yeah, sure, why not?
It's kind of like when I learned that a group of crows is called a murder of crows.
Murder.
Yes. And
Do you know what a group of flamingos is called?
What is it called?
A flamboyance.
A flamboyance. Wow. Okay. So, I mean, I knew that they were flamboyant from the moment that I saw that they were pink, right?
Do you know
but
why
I
they're
did
pink?
not know. Why is it? Why?
Because of the shrimp that they eat.
Nice.
It changes the color of their complexion.
Yeah, but shrimp usually are like gray, right? Before you cook them.
I don't know. Are they? Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know.
Welcome back to another episode.
Welcome to Bird Facts with Nick.
Can you imagine you just start doing bird facts instead of fun facts?
I don't think I know enough bird facts.
Well, do you
Sure, I can
know?
find some.
Do you know what the airspeed velocity is of an unladen swallow?
African or European?
I don't know. Anyway,
That's spoilers for a future episode.
is it really though?
Well, it depends on if the wheel lets us or not.
That's true. Yeah. Actually, no. We did agree that the Monty Python skit episode should be a live stream because we need to be reacting.
Yeah, we did that. Yeah.
We need to be reacting on screen, right? And we're trying to figure it out.
I remembered that.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't forget that.
Sure, why not? Good thing nobody can see your face right now, Nick. And no good thing nobody can see my face because of the eye roll that I just gave. Yeah, you don't remember shit. Oh wait, sorry. You don't remember shit.
I like how you censored the bit in the middle. So
Sorry.
everyone could still hear the.
Well, no, that's the whole point, right? That's how you can cleverly censor a word, is that you just censor the middle bit, right? But you can still clearly hear the sh, yeah. Anyway, so welcome to another episode, Nicholas. Are you ready to record one?
Absolutely. And
Yes.
before we get started, I thought I'd give them a clue as to what we were talking about today.
Sure.
So I have a song to play, or at least a little bit.
Okay.
So am I keyed up to?
Yes, you're queued up.
Okay.
Let's hear it. Enough of that before we get copyrighted.
Yeah. Don't come for his copyright. I turned it off.
Yeah. So, okay. So the funny thing is, right, as I was uploading some of our episodes onto YouTube, one of them actually did get copyrighted.
Really?
Yes. There's a slight copyright strike on our 10th episode, year in review, because you did play some music.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Right. So it's not available in two specific countries that I feel like, YouTube wanted to let me know.
Which countries are those?
Russia.
Okay.
And I think some country in Africa. I think it's like Botswana or something like that.
Sorry to our fans in Russia and Botswana.
Yes. Sorry to our fans there, but episode 10 will not be available for you. I'm so sorry.
But at least you got 1 through 9 and 11 and onwards.
Yes.
For now, anyway.
Yes, exactly. So the JavaScript is no longer worldwide, at least for that episode. It's now 193 countries.
Sure.
Okay. That are universally, well, not universally recognized by the United Nations.
Yeah, let's not get into that.
Anyway, anytime we hang out with Ivana, actually, she calls it a UN meeting, and it's hilarious every single time.
Well, I mean, when we met up last time, it was the beginning of a joke because you got an Englishman, a Filipino, and a Serbian going to a Japanese restaurant. So
it does sound like the beginning of the joke. But what would be the punchline, though?
I don't know. We need to work on that.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
I do have a multicultural joke if you want
No, I think... No,
well, no, it's not. It's not racist.
Is it not? Okay.
Yeah.
If it's problematic, I swear to God, Nick.
An Englishman, an American, and an Irishman walk into a bar.
Okay.
The Englishman orders a beer. Barman sets it down. Takes a sip. He says, barman, I need another drink. There's a fly in this beer. The barman says, oh, sorry about that. Let me get that taken care of for you. American sits down, orders his Coors Light. Oh, barman, there's a fly in this beer as well. Oh, sorry about that. Takes it back. The Irishman gets his pint of Guinness, sees there's a fly in the beer.
Okay.
Spit out the beer, you bastard.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay.
And I just realized I only censored one of the swear words in that sentence.
Well, okay. We're just gonna say bar steward, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Is it really a swear word? I mean, it did mean, it means
Child born out of wedlock.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, born out of wedlock. But is that really like something that people would take offense to nowadays? Because a lot of people are born out of wedlock.
That's true.
Yeah, a lot.
So it might not be swearing, it might just be a fact.
Yeah,
Maybe
exactly.
that fly was born out of wedlock.
Oh my god.
That one day of his life was a very
Anyway,
busy
we're
life.
just gonna move on from that, right?
You sure you don't want to talk about fly sexual behavior?
I asked Nick earlier because he was getting confused on the wires when we're connecting to the stuff, and I was like, "You didn't know the wires orientation?"
Said it was bisexual.
Yes.
Oh, that's not
Anyway.
the one I was looking for.
Oh my god, what are you looking for?
That's the one I was looking for. Oh, we don't even have the sound up. There we go.
There you go.
That's
Yeah.
weird because the sensor worked.
I don't know. I mean, let's try that again and see.
Yeah, that worked.
I think it's because Okay. I think it's because the censor button is not a sound effect. Rather, it's it's like it mutes your audio and then puts a sensor over it. So it's probably a different thing.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
It's a different input.
That's what she said.
I had to do that because we're talking about office stuff.
Yeah, I know. You had to pull out the Michael. Yeah, pull out. We're never going to get anywhere. Anyway.
Well, to be fair to us, it's only been 7 minutes.
That's
but by
true.
the time we'd done our 10th episode, we were already on 29 minutes of rubbish before we got to the main
I think we
point.
were at 26 minutes, actually. Yeah, well, okay. But in that episode, when I listened back to it, we did start to talk about a little bit, like little by little,
That's
our
true.
music taste and stuff like that, right? But
That's fair.
here, we're just not talking about the main topic.
That's right. We've given them bird facts. We've given them a joke about
Oh my
flies.
god. Moving on. So we are going to talk about working in an office, right? And while there is no specific subreddit about working in an office, there is a subreddit called anti-work, right? So Nick was showing me earlier about this guy who has his viewers, I guess, send
Shout
him-
out to Ben Askins on Facebook.
Yes, Ben Askins. Can you explain, Nick, a little bit about what he does?
So people send him in either best boss or worst boss.
Yes.
And so it'll be a story about so the one that I showed Gerard was it was obviously a kitchen or a restaurant or something.
Yeah.
And they were saying that tips are something that you earn, and if you're not pulling your weight, then we're going to start docking you tips. And it was like, my favorite one was, what was it? It was like £5 if you asked a stupid question or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
If you make me repeat myself,
Yes.
I'm going to dock you
Yes.
£5
Oh
or
my
something
God.
like that. Leaving a spoon in a tub was £10, which was stupid because I think the other one was £2 and it was much more egregious. So speaking of pounds is in the currency, by the way, not the weight.
I think, yeah. Yeah, as you know, if you guys haven't noticed after, 13 episodes, that Nick is British? What? Crazy, right? Anyway, so that inspired me to expand this episode a little bit into just work in general.
Yeah.
Right? Because everybody works, at least most people do.
Yeah.
Right?
Some people work.
Nope. Stop. But what's it called? So, everybody works. Everybody needs to have a job. Everybody needs to have money. And so, it feels a little bit like either elitist or we're like excluding people if we just talk about how hard it is to work in an office.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. But we are going to discuss first, right, what it's like to work in an office. If people have not worked in an office before, right, you sit down all day, stare at a screen and everything. right? Now, for me, it
God,
works.
way to sell it.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
I'm not selling anything, Nick. This is why we're doing a podcast. This
But,
is
hey, if it makes you feel any better, the way that I was going to sell it was, if you want to know how my day goes, I've already poured a glass of whiskey for myself.
I did notice that. So I came into Nick's house, and then I saw that he has a glass of whiskey out. I did not address it, and he did not address it up until now. So, you know what? Because I think it's just normal. You know, I walk in, I see a glass of whiskey and a LaCroix too, right? And then
Limoncello flavor.
limoncello flavor, right? And then I'm just like, yeah, normal.
I'm at Nick's house.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. I'm at his house, and you know, especially when I drive into here, and I see that there's nothing but darkness and emptiness in the distance. Yeah. So Nick lives in the void.
Yep,
That's
pretty much.
it. Yeah. And that's when I know that he's here.
Yep.
Yeah. It's because once I start seeing the void outside.
Well, you've got to think, we live in the city of lights in Las Vegas. So when you can no longer see the lights, oh, it's Nick's house.
It's not just when you can no longer see the lights. It's when you know, you feel like you're driving into the freaking Twilight Zone. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah. So yes, it's. I think it's more of a pessimistic view of working in an office, simply because like for me, I've always wanted to like have a job where I sit down all day long and stare at a screen. But now I'm starting to realize, like, you know, it's kind of not, you know, ideal, at least for my health, right? That's why I also wanted to do this podcast, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, like one day, hopefully, right, if we go ultra viral, right?
When we can get those Russian and Botswana listeners
Yes,
back.
exactly. Exactly.
That's what's holding us back.
Pretty much. Yeah, but so, you know, this is the kind of job that I would want to do,
Absolutely.
at least in the future. Yeah.
100%. Because I think, you know, the thing with an office job, there's definitely benefits to it. But I think it's all about the environment that you work in,
Yes.
and it's about the people that you work in.
Yes.
And if you can find an office job, which is very hard to find, that has the environment and has the people, then you're set.
Yes.
But if you don't have those two pieces to the puzzle, it doesn't matter what office job you're working in, it's not going to work.
That's true. Yeah, and you know, obviously not everybody can work at a Google or
Yeah.
Amazon or Microsoft or anything like that. So, you know, notice the silver lining, at least
Absolutely.
in all of it, because, you know, if you walk into an office expecting it to be like open, modern, and they give you bikes and corporate cars and like fancy food and everything, you know, that's just not realistic. And like Nick said, it's hard to find an office job nowadays.
And even
Right.
like, so this is about, God, I don't know, about 10 or 11 years ago, I did a tour of, do you know the company Zappos?
Yes, I do.
So they have their office in downtown Vegas. And we did a tour of there, and they're renowned as one of those places that people just don't leave.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you get a job at Zappos, you're set. Because
Damn.
their culture is like, so you're allowed to drink.
Oh.
Not to excess, but because their idea is, if you have a shot, it loosens up, you know, it loosens you up. Because have you ever heard of drunk thoughts?
Yes.
It's that kind of idea of
Okay.
like, you loosen up the artistic nature, and it's like, hey, this person is relaxed. They're going to have a better idea. Now, like I said, they limit it. You're not allowed to get absolutely wasted
Yes.
on the job site. But it's like, I walked past a desk and there was a guy who had a bottle of Grey Goose on his desk.
Okay.
And you could see
Good
it wasn't
choice.
very far down. Very good choice. But it was obviously one of those things where it's like, hey, I need a bit of inspiration. Let me have my bottle of Grey Goose, you know?
So it's not just liquid courage, it's liquid inspiration.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but little things like that, like they had a proper gym where people could go on like the elliptical and rowing machine and all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And obviously they were trying to sell it to us. So don't take this as gospel truth.
Okay.
But it was one of those things where it was like, you know, if people wanted to go for a run to loosen up their mind, it wasn't limited like, no, you must stay at your desk because you're busy.
Yeah.
It was one of those sort of free-flowing, like, as long as the job gets done. And that's one of those things, going back to Ben Askins, you
Yes.
know. And I don't know a lot about him, but I know that he's some sort of successful businessman.
It sounds like it.
And his take is, even if the work gets done at 2:00 in the morning, as long as the work is getting done and it's getting done in the time frame that it should be getting done, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not expecting you to get it done between 9 and 5. If you work better from 6 to 2,
Yeah.
then screw it. Go from 6 to 2.
Yeah.
As long as you're doing the work and as long as you're accessible to answer the questions that people
Yeah.
need you to answer.
Yeah,
You know.
pretty much. It sounds like, this Ben Askins guy, he completely understands how to boost morale and how to,
Yeah.
it's not with pizza parties
Yeah.
or donuts
Yeah.
or anything like that, right? Because anyone can get a pizza or a donut at any point in time.
And that's the thing. Those things help, but they're coupled with other things.
Yeah.
Like if you're... So I used to work in a job, and I'm not going to name and shame.
Yes.
But we used to have a quarterly thing,
Mm-hmm.
and they used to, like, it would change based upon what the quarter was, what the food was.
Yeah.
But you could tell it was one of those things where it's like, oh, God, it's the end of the quarter. We have to do something. Like, it had no meaning.
That's true.
Like, as long
Yeah.
as there's meaning behind it, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
But the best way to boost the... And obviously, I don't know because I'm not an owner.
Yes.
But from being an employee... It is like being a manager.
Yes.
So I've been a manager multiple times. And the way to get through to people
Yeah.
is not to, drag them over the coals when they make a mistake.
Of course not, yeah.
It's like if they make a mistake, all right, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Do you understand what happened? What
Yes.
what was the reason behind the mistake? And
Exactly.
can we move forward? Now, if it happens again,
Yeah.
I might be a little bit more pissed off because it's happened
Obviously,
again.
yeah.
But,
if it keeps happening, yeah.
If it becomes habitual, then it's like, okay, maybe you aren't the right person to
Yeah.
be doing this. But if it's a one-off, we all make mistakes.
Yes.
We're naturally, there is no perfect person in the history of humanity.
Duh.
Like, we all
Except
make mistakes.
for Ryan Reynolds, duh. No, I'm just kidding.
When even he made Green Lantern, so
That's true.
Oh,
diss on
where's
Green
my air horn?
Lantern.
Where's my air horn?
There you go. There you go. This might work better. Where's the thing? I'm looking for a thing.
The thing.
The thing. Oh, there.
Nice.
Anyway, continue on.
So as long as you treat people like people, then they will run through walls for you.
Yeah.
And so, it's not to diss the pizza party because I love pizza just like the next person. I love a donut just like the next person.
Who doesn't love that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I am a Homer Simpson at heart. But like,
Yeah.
if it's one of those things where it's like you're treating your employees like pieces of
Yeah.
and then it's like, here's a donut. No, go yourself.
Yeah.
I don't want your donut.
Exactly.
Get out of here
Yeah.
with your donut. But
Yeah.
if you're treating me as an equal, as a human being,
Yeah.
it's like there's an old like poster,
Yes.
and it's like the boss is sat at their desk and they're like doing the whip, and it's
Yes.
like, you will do as I say because I am the boss.
Yes.
The leader is pulling his people along. The leader leads. The boss tries to wield power.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that's mostly around where we stand in terms of work, right? It's because people always want power, right? And so when companies come around where they completely understand, right? Especially if the person who's leading the business, right? Their CEO or their manager or whatever has experienced themselves being a low level employee, right?
Absolutely.
And absolutely just getting whipped around. When they understand that completely, right? That they're going to be a good person to you because they understand
Absolutely.
it 100%. Yeah.
Well, it's like, and to use a bit of an extreme example, but in the military,
Yes.
if you have a general who was a low-level soldier,
Yeah.
they understand what that low-level soldier is
Yeah.
like. If you've got a general who came in as like a corporal
Yes.
and was never a low-level soldier,
Yes.
they don't know what the low-level soldier is like.
Yeah.
So they're just barking orders,
Yeah.
expecting everyone to jump.
There's a term for
Like-
that. It's Nepo baby.
There you go.
Yeah. But yes, Nepo baby just means that you're a baby that came from rich parents,
Yeah.
right? And you're privileged. But also, I think it could apply to work.
Absolutely.
A Nepo manager.
Absolutely.
Or like a
100%.
Nepo leader, right?
Yeah.
Because, you just came in there and you're just, you just started to wield all this power.
Absolutely.
And you know what they say, absolute power corrupts absolutely.
100%.
And I do believe that managers who came as low-level employees have the capacity to, like abuse their power.
Oh, 100%.
Yes, 100%. But that's not always the case. And it's the trend, it's the pattern.
Absolutely.
Right, that happens most often. And it's that,
100%.
yeah, and it's that, the people who have first-hand experience as a low-level employee tend to respect their fellow employees once they become managers. And stuff
Absolutely.
like that.
And then you don't
Yeah.
have to deal with a bunch of narcissists who
Exactly.
think that they're, God's gift to management.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, for God's sake, piss
And
off.
it's also not that big of a deal. Like everything that happens at work is just work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Unless
Yeah.
you're in a hospital and you've
Yes.
got someone bleeding out on the operating table.
Yes.
Then it's like, okay, maybe we should react to this.
I think it's a little bit more serious right now. Yeah, but when you work in an office, right, you have more time to socialize and talk shit
Absolutely.
or talk shit about other people. Right, sorry about that. But you have more time to socialize and, talk smack about other people. And you have, like you construct this idea in your head that like everything that happens at work is the most important thing in the world.
Yeah.
And
it's not.
Yeah, but once you're
Like-
done with work, right? I mean, Nick and I are coworkers, right?
Yeah.
But outside of work, we're friends.
Absolutely.
100%. We do not talk about work.
Absolutely.
No. Yeah.
Well, we do, but we try not to.
Yeah. Sometimes we do. Right. Yeah. But
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, right? Once it comes down to it, right? We don't like to think about work outside of work.
Well, even like when we eat lunch together, we talk about Doctor Who, or we talk about the podcast, or we talk about, we had a really weird conversation on Friday. It was like about...
What was it about?
About like investment or something like that. I can't remember what we were talking about. It was a really weird... It was a really strange off-topic conversation. I can't remember where.
I don't even know, but our conversations at lunch go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're not even at Zappos where we can have a drink.
Right? Can you imagine if we were able to drink during lunch and we're just like...
Gerard, let me tell you. So, I've been thinking...
Yes, motherfucker. I forgot to censor it again. I'm so bad at this.
Yeah. We'll get there one day.
One day, right? Can you imagine like one of these days where just like, and we're rapping like an Eminem lyric, right? With all the swear words and we're just like... That sounded
Pretty
like
much.
Morse code.
Right? SOS.
Was it?
Here's a random fact for you.
Okay.
Do you know what the Titanic broadcast? Because it wasn't SOS.
What was it?
It was the old thing for SOS.
Ooh.
And it was like CDQ or something like... CQD, that's what it was.
Okay.
Come quick, danger.
Okay.
That's what it was before SOS.
Is that why it took so long to rescue it?
Probably.
No, I don't
but
know.
because they came up with SOS because... CQD in Morse code takes forever to type out.
Yeah.
Whereas SOS is just beep, 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 beep. I mean, something like that anyway.
Yeah. It's so it's like I think it's 3 short pulses, 3 long pulses, and then 3 short pulses.
Yeah. Because it's what? ... dash, 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 ...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're moving on from our office experience. And,
Absolutely.
Comment down any work experience that you guys have.
I was going to say comment below, but it depends on what system you're listening to us on.
Yes, exactly. I mean, it could be YouTube,
Yeah.
could be Spotify, could be
TikTok.
no.
So, full disclosure, we're recording this the day before the ban comes into effect. So that's why that is hitting so hard, especially for poor Gerard here. He is a TikTokist.
A TikTokist?
Something like that.
Okay.
I'm one of those people that watches it on Reels 2 weeks later, so I've still got 2 weeks later, 2 weeks before this affects me.
So you know that Nick is already a heathen for watching Reels.
Indeed.
Yes. But yeah,
For real.
so for Reels.
Miss Jackson, I'm for real.
Did you see that meme where he's actually 4 eels?
I am
like,
for
I'm so-
eels.
Yeah. He's like, I'm
brilliant.
sorry, Mr. And then there's a depiction of him as just 4 eels. Anyway, but yeah, so today is January 18th, right, when we're recording this, right?
Even though it's also apparently it's National Winnie the Pooh Day.
Is it?
Apparently.
Nice.
It's the anniversary of when A.A. Milne wrote the character.
Even though we try to pretend every single time that we are recording this on the night before it releases, we don't.
Do we know?
Yeah. But apparently I'm going to time travel soon to upload this.
I should have had the Doctor Who theme ready to go.
Damn. Not ready.
damn it.
Oh my God.
We
Anyway,
need to have the TARDIS sound on here.
the
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
no.
Just have like 10 seconds of it because you've got the sound of it starting up and then have like 5 seconds of the song playing.
We'll see.
Can't get copyrighted for that. Maybe in like, I don't know, Eswatini or something like that.
Eswatini?
It's the most random country I could think of. Cape Verde, I don't know.
Is that an actual
St. Kitts and
country?
Nevis. Well, Eswatini was in that GeoGuessr short you showed me the other day.
Oh,
Remember that he was just like, this looks like Eswatini, and it's like, what do you mean it looks like Eswatini?
yeah.
Who knows about Eswatini?
I didn't even know that was an actual country. And just jumping on the bandwagon, right? Serbia and Montenegro, Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So before we piss off Eastern Europe anymore, which it's almost about to explode, because I think it's the World Cup qualifiers have come out.
Oh no!
In England's group, it's like England, Serbia, and Bosnia, or something like that. Like, there's 3 countries. One of them is one of the lesser countries that's not going to go anywhere.
Okay.
But there's 3 Eastern European countries in there, and it's like, who thought this was a good idea? I know it's randomly picked, but surely there was a fail-safe where the former, like, Soviet countries or the former Yugoslav countries don't get picked out at the same time.
You probably shouldn't say they were lesser countries with
I
your
meant
accent.
I meant in footballing terms.
Because
I meant in footballing terms, I promise.
Anyway.
I wasn't being racist.
Okay, should we just start over?
Well, no, because I'm going to actually have a look at what the group is, just so that I can...
Okay, but we are moving on from our own experiences, right, to the subreddit anti-work. Okay, and we are
it's Albania, Latvia, and Serbia.
Okay.
So Albania, Serbia is about to be a fustercluck.
Oh, fustercluck. Anyway, so moving on from that, right? Because nobody actually cares about sports.
Wow. Wow. Well, your idol does, because she was watching her boyfriend today.
Who?
Taylor.
Okay.
She went to her first game for a while because she's been on tour.
Okay.
I don't know, it popped up on Google or something, I don't know.
So?
She's your idol. Follow your idol. Aren't you a Kansas City Chiefs fan because of that?
No.
Well,
I love Taylor.
You're a bad Taylor Swift fan, apparently.
No. I'm not a bad Taylor Swift fan just because I'm not a fan of any sport. It's not that I hate the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm just not a fan of sport in general.
Yeah, that makes you even more of a heathen.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. Anyway.
Strange person.
Anyway, yeah. So I just revealed to everybody that I do not watch the sport. The sport.
The sport.
Yes. I do not do the sports.
You are becoming more and more like Richard Ayoade's character from the IT Crowd, which you need to watch because I think you'd really enjoy it.
I have not watched the IT Crowd. He's been trying to convince me to watch the IT Crowd.
There's a bit where they go and watch a football match.
Okay.
And he's just like, well, it looks like the sports is being really well done today.
One day I'm going to say that. One day I'm going to walk into here. You're going to be watching a match and I'm going to be like, oh my God, looks like the sports is going well.
Right?
Yeah. But really, you guys are losing.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we, keep rambling on, right? Let's move on to anti-work.
We've nearly made it to 29 minutes, like the episode 10.
It was 26 minutes, Nicholas.
Oh, we made it perfect.
That
we
was
broke
literally like a week ago when we recorded that.
About a week ago. No,
oh
it wasn't.
my God.
It was like 3 weeks ago. Right? Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Remember? This isn't the 18th of January.
Anyway. Yeah, so we're going to be reading some stories here on anti-work, specifically their flair called Know Your Worth, right? Because this is going to be, we have talked about, our job and how depressing it is for the last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. And we kind of need to balance that out with comedy because this is a comedy show.
We have a laugh track in here, right?
Yes.
Where are they?
I don't know. Somewhere in here. There we go. Oh, you just missed it.
There we go. Thank you, live studio audience.
Thank you very much. Yes. What do you mean do we have a laugh track? We have the audience.
I know. I was trying to get them to go. They just wouldn't do anything.
Yeah, see? They're laughing at you now. Anyway. But it's not really comedy. It's more like a satisfying, these people have, earned justice, or what is it? They
I don't know what you're trying to say.
I don't know. Look, it's
they've got vindication.
They've gotten justice, basically.
Justice.
But yeah, against their employers, right? And to the 7 million people who work on for TikTok, right? Maybe you can take something from this.
There you go.
Even though you're probably out of a job by now. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come work for the podcast. Hey, we can't pay you, but come work for the podcast.
It'll be really fulfilling. Just ask Gerard, since he's the one that does all the editing and all the promotion and all the other stuff.
Yes, and especially since a lot of people in TikTok are very who work for TikTok are very creative, right? They know everything about marketing and social media.
It'll be hard to get them, though, because aren't most of them in China?
TikTok is an American company. It's owned by a Chinese company called ByteDance, but TikTok itself is American.
Isn't it in China?
China. Anyway, before we get political. Okay.
Yeah.
So the first story we're gonna read here. We're only gonna read probably a couple stories.
I was going to say it's a long one.
That's what she said.
Indeed, it is a long one.
That's what she said.
But I think the title, pretty much summarizes the entire story. But why just read the title when you can, read the rest of the story? Anyway, so this title is "Walked Out of the Job Yesterday. ... Finally."
At last.
At last. I'm looking forward to when I can make that post on Reddit. Anyway.
He's already planning on leaving the podcast, people. Can you believe this?
Not the podcast. Oh, my God. Anyway. So, I had been working at a chain haircut place for about a year. I finally had enough. Insane clients, awful pay, crazy slow days where we would get 2 to 3 clients max. Even through the busiest season, summer haircuts, back to school, Christmas, I barely made enough to pay my bills. The busiest day I worked was the day before back to school, and I did 16 haircuts but barely broke $100 in tips. So,
Jesus Christ.
yeah,
What were people tipping? Like a nickel?
probably.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, probably 5 cents. I don't know. I don't even have many bills. No loans, no car payments other than insurance, and small credit card bills. Most recently, the staff had been constantly threatened with write-ups for literally everything, and my hours were cut because I don't think the business can even afford to have more than 2 full-time people on staff. I randomly dropped off my resume at a spot that didn't have any listings online, got an interview on Wednesday, got the job on Thursday. I was scheduled to open on Friday at the old job, so I went in and opened, and as soon as another coworker came in, I packed up and said bye. One of my coworkers looked panicked when I told her, and I was like, but you can't.
In the immortal words of Bruno Mars, don't believe me, just watch.
Yeah. Like I needed to ask for permission, but God, it felt amazing to just waltz out. I wrote a resignation email when I got in the car and sent it to my manager and district manager. I picked up a joint, drove out to the mountains, and watched the sunset while I smoked and watched my district manager desperately try to call me with some questions, quote unquote. If I do reply, it will for sure be over email so I can have a record of these questions. But damn, I love this feeling so much. Keep up the fight, guys. You don't have to stay in a terrible situation. Life can take some unexpected and crazy turns.
It's so true.
Yes.
There's the saying, the grass isn't always greener, but at the same time,
Yeah.
if you don't take the leap of faith, then you don't know what's on the other side.
Pretty much, yeah.
Sometimes it's not the better the devil you know.
Yes.
Sometimes it
Yeah.
is, but at the same time, if you have the opportunity
Yeah.
to take that leap and you're just miserable,
Yeah.
then take the opportunity.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, so my resume pretty much consists of a lot of like part-time jobs that I left after a few months, right? And a lot of people are judging me for it. They're like, you can't keep a job for more than like this and that.
Them.
Yeah, I know.
Jesus
I know.
Christ.
I know, but
Judgmental little.
yeah, yes, I know. But I've been in my job where I met Nick for over a year now.
Yep.
Right, and I've been promoted. Right, so it was nice. So it really is all about.
Sorry, it's a bit late. Come on, live studio audience. What
Anyway.
the hell's wrong with you?
It really depends on like where you're happy, right? I'm not saying like I'm so happy at my current job that I'm never gonna leave. right?
Of course he is, because I work there. So
Shut up. No. Well, no, you no longer just work there. You work on this podcast too. So
Absolutely.
You're my employee.
No, we're co-owners.
Okay, fine. But yeah, so
I bring the accent, you bring the editing.
sure. You bring the accent, I bring everything else that makes it run. Okay, I'd like to see you try, Nick. Make a new logo, upload it to YouTube, edit all of our shorts.
Well, you didn't have to say that. I have to do it well.
Oh my god. Am I gonna see like a badly photoshopped like fucking edit of our fun fact series? Like,
Absolutely.
I can only imagine like you just putting the music over you saying fun facts.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you're not even using the audio from the microphones. You're just using the audio from my phone.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Nick's Fun Facts.
I mean, considering, okay, you guys saw our announcement in December when we were just about to leave for vacation.
When we were going to take a break for a couple of weeks.
We were taking,
That turned into 7.
Yeah. I'd like to see you take both of our footages and edit it the way I did.
I mean, you could if you want, but it's not. I don't even know if I have access to my old editing software. It's on. I think it's on that laptop.
Okay, do it.
I don't know.
Anyway, I think we have time for one more story. But yeah, yeah. I mean, if you're, like I'm saying that I'm not saying that I'm 100% happy where I am, but I'm happy that I get to do this podcast for one, and I'm happy that I also took a leap of faith and started traveling around a lot.
Absolutely.
Like randomly, I would just be in New York, and I would tell Nick, I'll be like, "Hey, I'm in New York."
I can't record the podcast this week because I'm in New York.
Yeah, and in fact, I'm going back to New York and some other places for this year, so that's gonna be a lot of fun.
Are you going to watch a Broadway play?
Duh.
Which one?
Wicked, Hamilton.
God, that's boring. Watch one that's not like the top 10.
Okay, do you want me to go watch falsettos?
Sure.
Or like a chorus line?
Sure.
Or Kimberly Akimbo?
Sure. I don't know what any of those mean, but sure.
I
haven't heard of those. Sure.
Or do you want me to go to a completely like underground musical that's like being held in an alleyway?
Absolutely. AKA Cats.
Isn't Cats set in London though?
I don't know where Cats set.
It's by Andrew Lloyd Webber, so
I think it's set in the mountains. I was trying to think of a country joke, but I couldn't think of one.
We're gonna move completely on.
Oh, it's in Catalonia.
Okay.
It's a region of Spain.
Moving on. Moving on. This is a lot shorter, but yeah.
it?
Right there.
That's what she said.
Moving on to the final story, and since we rambled on for too long, Nick, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
We're gonna move on to this last story of this episode, and it's titled "Why Do We Glorify Overworking While Underpaying?"
Oh, 100%.
Yes,
Just overworking in general.
yes, and it's more of a rant than it is an experience, right? So it says, it's wild how so many jobs expect workers to go above and beyond, work late, skip breaks, pick up extra shifts, all for barely livable wages. What are you going to do?
I'm just setting it up.
Okay. They tell us to be able to, they tell us to be grateful to have a job and dedicated to the team, but where's the dedication to the employees? Companies rake in billions in profit, yet they guilt us for wanting fair pay, proper breaks, or a work-life balance. Somehow, we're labeled as lazy or entitled for not wanting to sacrifice our health and happiness for their bottom line. When did it become normal to prioritize profits over people? Work shouldn't consume your entire life just so you can barely afford to live. The system is broken. Yes. Clap it up.
The live studio audience agrees.
Preach it. Yes.
That's what I was preparing, was the live studio audience.
Yeah. So initial thoughts.
Well, here's the thing for me. So, obviously, I'm coming at this from an English perspective.
Okay.
Because, I moved back to England
Okay.
And when I was there, I worked for an American company, but I was working in England.
Okay.
And there were a lot of Americanisms, but one of the things was I was supposed to leave at 4:15, and because I'd worked in America, my thing was let me finish my work before I leave. And without fail, every single day, Nick, you not see what time it is? It's time to go home. You know your train leaves at 5 o'clock, and it's like, first off, you creepy buggers, why do you know what time my train leaves? But second off, it wasn't from a standpoint of we don't want to pay you overtime.
Yeah.
Because I was salary, so it didn't matter.
Exactly.
It was a standpoint of no, our time is finished.
Yeah.
Go home.
Yeah.
Exactly. Get out of here.
Exactly.
And I have never had that happen in America. And it is a very American standpoint, in my opinion.
Was it you or was it one of our friends that said they never said no to an extra shift and you ended up working for like a month straight?
Oh, yeah, I worked 36 days straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Because I just started the job. And I was like, I'm going to impress them because I have no choice because I'm only 22 years old. Yeah.
Yeah. Even for me as a 5-year-old, right? No, I'm just kidding. As a 25-year-old, right? I'm only 5 years into working, 6 years into working, right? And I already understand the system is fucked
100%.
up. Or where is it?
Where is it?
Oh, where this system is up, you Yeah. Those are some choice words in rapid succession, Nick.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyway, but yeah, so and in our office, right? We tend to or at least the managers tend to like it when we say things or we go above and beyond.
100%.
And they award us, right, with like Amazon gift cards, Target gift cards, and other such things, right? And we're also not an exemption from the pizza parties and the donut parties,
Absolutely.
right?
Although I missed the last one.
You did? Oh yeah, the donuts.
I don't think you were there for that either. Were you working from home?
No, I was.
Oh, you were. Okay.
I got myself a red velvet donut. Yeah.
No one saved me any donuts.
Sorry about that, Nick. No, the donuts were gone. By the way, by the time I think by like 3 o'clock, the donuts were gone. On that day, on that same day. Anyway, so
until 3 o'clock, what was wrong with you, like you slackers?
Oh my god! What? Could you have finished that entire box of donuts within like an hour?
Yes.
Anyway, so yeah. In terms of like rewards, right? And I've had this experience, and I'm currently kind of somehow still having the experience where like people like to point out everything that you've done wrong in a job, but they never like to acknowledge everything that you've done right. Only
100%.
Only when you go above and beyond do you get recognized. If you're doing like the work, right, and you're like kind of not really like sacrificing your own mental health and shit like that. That's when they don't recognize you. They don't.
100%.
Yeah, they don't notice that.
Well, it's like there was an example, and there was this teacher, and he went up to the board, and it was something simple. It was like the 9 times multiplications.
Yeah.
And so for 9 times 1, he put 9. 9 times 2, I think he put like 11.
Okay.
Then he did the rest of them all the way down to 12 correctly.
Okay.
And the students were like, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Okay.
The teachers did it wrong.
Okay.
And he was like, but you didn't pay attention to the other 11 that I got right.
Yeah.
He did it on purpose. He was trying to prove a point.
Okay.
And it was one of those things where it's like, you can do 101 things right.
Yeah.
But as soon as you do that one thing wrong,
Yes.
what'd you do that for?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you didn't say anything when I did 101 things right.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah. And yeah. And when you also like sacrifice so much, right? You go above and beyond, right? Yes, it deserves recognition, but it seems like they're trying too hard because they don't really want to recognize you for going above and beyond. But they know that you're going to start to riot and revolt, or like you're
100%.
even going to get pissed at them. And they can't have you leaving because they're going to have to go through the process of hiring somebody again.
when at the end of the day, places of work are built on the people that just do the status quo.
Exactly.
They come in, they get their job done, and they go home. And
I can
that's
think,
it.
I can think of several people that just come in, get the job done, and go home.
Yeah.
I envy them because Nick and I have been involved in so much more
Yeah.
than that.
That's why I was drinking whiskey tonight. after today.
Lord. Good Lord. Why are there, why is there even office drama? It's a workplace.
Yeah, who gives a I nearly didn't censor
Yeah,
myself.
who gives a...
Come quick, danger. Like,
Exactly.
it's one of those things where it's like, it's so childish.
Yeah.
It's so childish. Like,
And it's,
who cares?
Yeah, and
Come on.
You know that you've become an adult, right? Once you stop really just caring about like all this dramatic stuff that like you would probably make it a big deal like when you're in high school, even college, right?
Yeah.
But like when you're a grown adult, like you're in your mid-20s or like Nick in his 90s, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Shouldn't matter.
Having gone through the Spanish influenza, you just don't. What would that put me at 106?
By the way, how was the Black Plague? Did you sort? I mean,
Verily,
obviously you survived, right? You survived, and obviously you were there to sign the Magna Carta, but
Absolutely.
and how was going through medieval Europe? It
was great.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah.
I mean, verily.
Anyway, but yeah, so we had to implement the comedy that way.
Absolutely.
Because like
I saw
this
this
is
brilliant
becoming
thing
too serious.
about imagine if you were a vampire,
Yeah.
and you'd been alive since like the 1300s,
Okay.
and you rip your favorite jacket, but the tailor who did it has been dead since 1500, and you can't get it fixed. Or
Maybe
like,
that tailor was Swift. Anyway.
or like you're craving food, but the food went out of fashion
Yes.
in 1472.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, or you have a song stuck in your head from the 1300s that no one's ever heard of.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's just I feel like that's just that's your only dilemma.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Not
Absolutely.
like a Shielder's dilemma.
Nope.
That doesn't happen.
Well, just ask Captain Jack Harkness.
Oh, you mean the face of Bo? Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Anyway.
The face of
Yeah, I don't think censoring the word Bo is going to do anything.
It might do.
It might not. The doctor will not. Anyway. But yeah. So unless you have any other passing remarks,
Not
Nicholas?
really.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, just try not to spread drama.
Try
It's
not to do
worth
that.
it.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
Since we did idioms
Yes.
last time we recorded, which definitely wasn't last week.
Yes.
Here's another idiom for you.
Okay.
The axe remembers what the tree forgets.
Okay. And what's the rest of that?
So it's not that is actually the full idiom.
Okay.
But the point of it is,
Yes.
the axe goes in,
Uh-huh.
hits the tree,
Yeah.
and then it goes away.
Yeah.
The tree is like, what the
Yeah.
just happened?
Yes.
It's just been cut to pieces. But the axe is like, I don't remember doing that.
Yeah.
I cut down so many trees, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
And it's true. Your words have power, but just don't go through the drama. It's not worth it.
Exactly.
Like, come on.
And I think that's the main lesson to be taken away from this episode.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But the question of the day.
Oh, you
what's-
actually remembered.
Well, I came up with it like 30 seconds ago.
Okay.
So that's why I was like, woo, I remember
Nice.
this time.
Okay.
What? I want the people, unfortunately not from Russia or Botswana, but from the rest of the world, perhaps the people from Zimbabwe, to tell us about their past, work experiences. Like, is there a particular manager that you had that just caused chaos? For example,
Absolutely.
I had one, and I doubt that he'll ever listen to this podcast, but even if he does, I haven't seen him for about 12 years, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Our GM went on holiday, and this guy was telling everyone that he was the general manager, while the general manager wasn't there.
Okay.
And the general manager came back to all of these emails saying, the general manager told us that we could do this. And he's like,
Oh
I
my
said no such thing. I've been on
God.
holiday.
Wow.
So he was trying to lord it over everyone.
Okay.
And then when the GM came back, he was like, what the have you been doing? You're not the general manager. You're just the guy who was filling in for me.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's true. For me,
So-
okay, I have so many work experiences, but I think the most memorable one, this one's less funny, more gross. So
Should I get the sensor ready just in case?
no. Basically,
Sorry, you're getting
yeah.
attacked by the blanket.
Damn. Okay. In general, right? Basically, so I used to work at a gym. Right, not gonna say which particular gym.
James.
Right. Anyway, so I worked at a gym, and this guy hadn't paid his membership fee in like 3 months, and is demanding access to like the freaking amenities, right? And so he got mad, shouted at my manager over the counter, and then he spit on him.
Nice.
Yeah, and then that's when we called the cops.
Nice.
Yeah, that was probably the most memorable one.
Fair.
Yeah, and it was, our manager had to go home that day. And so I was left with a different coworker, but since I was the one who with more experience, I was kind of sort of the manager.
Here's a funnier work experience. So
This episode is never going to end.
it's only been 50 minutes. We're fine.
Okay.
I'll make it short.
Okay.
So in my previous life working at the front desk in a hotel.
Your previous incarnation?
Indeed, absolutely. Doctor number 3.
Okay.
I was working during the AVN Awards, which always comes to Vegas. Mm-hmm. And there was a dominatrix that came in.
Oh.
And in full leather getup.
Oh, okay.
And had a leash connected to her slave.
Oh, nice.
Who was wearing a very short skirt and a top made of just rope.
Just rope.
And she came in with a what's it called? The riding crop in her hand. And she was trying to check in, but she wouldn't give me her real name. And she was
probably
called,
because her pet is there.
Well, she was called Mistress Bunny.
Okay.
And I said, well, Mistress Bunny, I can't check you in because that's not a real name. So I was like, I'll go through the motions and see if there's anyone with the last name of Bunny. And I was like, sorry, but unless you show me some ID or give me a real name, I can't check you in. Yeah. I thought she was going to slap me with that riding crop. And I think she was very close to doing it.
Well, no, she's not going to slap you with it because you're not paying her to do
That's
so.
True. That's true.
Yeah.
So fortunately, for the sake of the health of my face, she stormed off and didn't come back for the rest of my shift. I don't know if she came back because no one said anything about a dominatrix, but that was my run-in with a dominatrix. It was a very tense 3 minutes of my life where I thought I was going to get whipped into next week.
I mean, I'm sure her pet also has tense 3 minutes of their lives. Anyway.
Oh, that's not the one. Is it that one?
That's what she said.
There we go.
Oh my God.
Damn it, live studio audience, you got in my way.
Damn. Anyway, so yeah, tell us about your work experiences.
Absolutely. Especially some international ones, if there are any international listeners, because that would be interesting.
Absolutely. Not from Russia or Botswana or anything.
From Russia with love?
Yeah, from Russia with love. Yeah, or anywhere like that, right? But everywhere else, yeah. Do
Christmas Island, maybe?
It's Easter Island.
No, there's a Christmas Island as well.
There's a Christmas Island?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Anyway, you learn something new every day. Maybe that's going to be in the next episode of Fun Facts.
There's an island for every season.
There's a Thanksgiving Island, did you know?
Arbor Day Island? What are you doing here?
Damn, Valentine's Day Island. What the frick? And there's even like, oh my God, it's Corn Dog Day Island. 4th of July Island.
That's just Hawaii.
Yeah. Anyway, before this episode goes on for too long, we want to thank you guys for listening.
Indeed. Thank you very much.
And we'll see you guys again next week.
Bye.
Nick, play us out.
I don't know. Where is it?
It's over here.
Well, I don't know where it is.
Did you see the thing that says tacos?
Oh, shit.
Bye.
It's raining tacos from out of the sky. Tacos, no need to